Hello, it's Jamie, and in this module I'm going to teach you how to do some basic formulas in Excel. So in our Excel spreadsheet, we're just going to type in some basic numbers from A1 down to A8. So in A1, 100, A2, 200, A3, 300, A4, 100, A5, 100, A6, 600, A7, 9000, and A8, 500. And then what we'll do is can we all then click into A9. And if we now move our mouse to the top corner, on the right hand side you see the sigma symbol and the auto sum button. Basically it's a fallen over M or funny looking E. Now if you click onto that button, you'll see it automatically will then say equal sum, open brackets, A1 to A8. Now if we press enter, you'll see automatically calculates it and adds them all together. And if we then change any of these values, so if we now click into A8 and I type in 700, you'll see when I press enter, it will confirm and then type in your total of 11,100. Now if I want to edit this formula, if I now got a couple of different ways of doing this. I can now double click into the formula, or the one I like the most is if I press F2 and we then jump into formula that way. Or we have our formula bar at the top of our screen, which that most probably is the proper way of doing it, but I like doing this way, even to demonstrate the teaching, but also to see the formula a bit bigger. Okay, so what we're going to now just read the formula from left to right. It starts with equals. What does equals mean? I know it means same as, but for in Excel, equals means it's a start of a formula. Now, then you've got the function word sum. Now I always used to think sum meant total, or I was wrong. Yeah, sum means addition. It means anything in the brackets next to this, add this up. So if I now delete the word sum, you'll see it won't work because it doesn't know what to do with that range. However, you could go longhand and then just do equals, which is the start of a formula, then do A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5 plus A6 plus A7 plus A8. I'm bored as well, and press enter, and you can see it automatically up. But that auto sum was a lot quicker to do so. So if we now click into A9 and then press delete, the formulas go. So once we've done that, the next exercise which we're now going to do is if we now press auto sum, we've got our calculation, press enter. I really like this exercise, it's very basic, but if you now double click into the formula or press F2, if we go to the left hand side of this formula and press space, will it work? Now it won't give me an error message, but it won't work. So what will it do? It will now just tell me the formula. So if I now press enter, you can now see that. So what's the benefit of that? That could be the easiest way to open someone else's spreadsheet and understand what they've done. Instead of just looking at the answer and trying to work out what they've done, or by double clicking, you could just click in, just read above, and then manually type in the formula and to see if it works. So from a copycat scenario, it's a great training way, and there's no excuse now. The more you use Excel, the better you'll get. Okay, so another way I'm going to do this is quite often I'm going to highlight that text there. I'm going to copy it. Press my tab key. Don't click away. Then press your space bar. Then paste the text in. So I now can see that formula that covers that there. I'm now going to click into A10. I'm now going to go to that downwards triangle where it says auto sum. And you can see there are a list of different formulas. So I'm now going to just choose min. It's now doing a whole range, but I'm going to just change that to the same as A8. You can do this by highlighting the left mouse button down. And what min means, it's pretty obvious, it's the minimum value. So as you can see, 100 is. So if I now change that 600 to 50, you can see my minimum value has now changed. So I'm going to double click into that formula again. I'm going to highlight it, Control and C, press the tab key, press space, then Control V. So I now can read how that formula is created. We'll do the flip side of that coin. We've done min. we're now going to do max. So let's click on that downwards triangle and now choose max. Same range again, highlight A1 to A8. So obviously equals max, it's maximum. What's the maximum value in that range? Well, obviously even though we can just know it's going to be 9,000. We press enter, we can see we've got 9,000 there. If we now double click onto that one, we can now highlight that text, Control and C, press the tab key, space, Control and V, we now have max. Okay, the next formula we're going to do is we can now click on that downwards triangle. I'm now going to choose count numbers. So let's now click on count numbers. Now, it actually, if I just highlight A1 to A8, that one there doesn't count the number of cells, it only counts the number of cells that have numbers in there. So if I press enter, you can see there's 8. To prove this, if I click into A2 and type in Jamie, you can see it's only counting the number of cells. So if I highlight that, Control Tab, space, Control V, that one is count numbers. Now, if I wanted to count the range of cells, numbers of text, there's another formula to do that. Now, that wasn't on that list, and this was equals. So we now do count, and can you see down there, there's a list of information. If I now click onto count A, you can see it counts the number of cells within a range that aren't empty. So count A, open bracket, highlight A1 to A8, close bracket, and as you can see, if I press enter, at the moment it looks exactly the same as count. But let's just do what we did a moment ago. Let's click into A2 and type in Jamie again. As you can see, that one says 7, that one says out. So the A13 one, that's adding up basically any data that's in there. So it's counting how many cells are there with numbers or text. It wouldn't do blank cells though. So if I now click A3 and press delete, you can see it doesn't do blank cells. So I'm just going to copy that across, Control and C, tab key, space, Control V, and we pasted that back in. But we can get it to count blank cells as well. So we could do count blank, open brackets, A1 to A8, close brackets, and hopefully, as there's only one blank cell in that range, it should say 1. And it does. Forgot to put a space, and we've got that one there. So I'm just going to type in this one to be 200. We're now just going to type in 300 here. You can see all the data is now changing the other cells. The last exercise of this module is we're now going to show the averages. There is another module that actually shows you the different averages, average, median, and mode, but we're just going to show you average this time. So if you now click into C3, and we're now going to click into the downwards triangle of auto sum, and can you choose average? It doesn't add upwards because obviously there's no values above, so it's gone to the left, and we're now going to change that range from A1 down to A8, the same as below. So it says equals average A1 to A8. We press enter, and that has now given us the mean average. What is the mean average? Well, what that does, adds them all up and divides by the number. And what does that give you? Well, it gives you not the middle, that'll be median. What it does, it gives you an equal share. So if we now double click onto this exercise, or we could press F2, we highlight it, Control and C, tab key, space, and Control and V, we now have average. I hope you've enjoyed this module. It's just a starting way of how to create some basic formulas.